Hello everyone, welcome back to the pursuit of health, wealth and happiness. My name is Nay if you're new. Two things are happening this week. First things first, it's Sunday today. Tomorrow we are getting our hallway tiled. We have spent almost a year living with exposed wood flooring. And the second thing that's happening this week is it will be the 1 year anniversary of us getting the keys to this house, which means we have officially been renovating for a year. In one sense, I think, wow, that absolutely flew by. Where's the time gone? I feel like we've only just got started. And on the other hand, I'm like, when I remember the empty house tour video, when I think of the state of the house when we moved in, and when I bear in mind we also had to buy furniture at the same time as renovating, I think actually we've done a lot in a year. It's actually a nice way to end that first year / go into the second year of renovating by having something quite significant done. So as always, I'm really happy to be documenting this process with you and take you along the way with us. And I guess today's like a prep day, so I've just hoovered the hallway, which I don't know if that's totally pointless, but I just felt like if there was trapped dirt and dust, it might contribute to a smell, and there has been a smell this whole year. When you leave and come back after a few days, the exposed flooring mixed with this heat that we've been having makes like a woody, empty house smell that if you've also had an exposed floor you'll understand, but for those of you who've never sort of smelt that dampy, woody, exposed smell, it's really not very nice. I'm also really looking forward to covering it and actually getting into that decorative stage, and hopefully that is one problem solved. So I'll show you the state now, and then I'll talk you through what I'm doing today, and then obviously tomorrow will be sort of the stages of laying the floor. In this hallway used to be wood laminate. It absolutely stank. So the first thing we did when we got the keys this time last year was we ripped up the laminate that was in the dining room and also in here. We had initially planned to restore the original wood floors like we have done in the living room and the dining room. The problem we had, as you can see here for example, the floorboards in the hallway were very gappy. You can see there too. And we just felt that the gaps were too big just to leave. There's also problems with slugs and bugs, and also that smell that I was talking about earlier. So instead, we decided that we were going to put in tiles, Victorian tiles, which I think is actually a better idea and a really nice added feature to this home, and I think it's really important to restore those original features. And this is something that I spoke about all throughout the renovation process, and in particular I have a video on renovation mistakes where I talk about the fact that when people renovate, they don't always highlight the unique features of the home. So in this instance, we are in a Victorian property. It's a 1900 Victorian property. It's so unique to be able to pull off Victorian tiles, so why not put that in? So that's exactly what we're doing. As you can see, it's pretty tragic. So a couple of things to point out. Firstly, when we first moved in, we thought, how strange that someone's put white wallpaper on the walls. So we've spent days trying to rip off white wallpaper, realizing, oh, it's lining paper. You shouldn't remove lining paper. So we swiftly stopped. We need to think of what we're gonna do. These lampshades were already here. I'm also really intrigued about what to do with these beams. I'm really tempted to strip them and stain them wood, again like a unique feature. So that's the wallpaper scenario. This is obviously where you come into our front door. We decided to leave these tiles because there's nothing really wrong with them, to be honest. It's not one that we would have chosen, but why unnecessarily rip up something that's doing a perfectly good job? You know, it's that little zone where people come in with muddy shoes and they're going to ruin it anyway. Obviously we do need to make it a little bit more appealing. We've also got where the fuse box and all that is kept. So that's the entryway. We've got another door. We're going to keep this door because particularly in winter, you really want that door to block any wind, cold that's going to come through the door. So obviously when they come and tile, they're literally going to tile from here all the way to what is our kitchen down there, and it's about 8.5 square meters. This is the porcelain tile that they're going to be laying tomorrow, and I'm sure Cody is screaming through the screen. He would like me to tell you that he chose these tiles, which I think he did a very good job, so well done, Cody. I think the neutral grey, you know, is always going to work for a range of people, so yeah, it's nice. Once the floor is done, the next stage is obviously to sort out these hideous walls, and then it will be time to start decorating. One thing I'm really keen for is a shoe unit here. The problem is that the one that I think I would like, I think is slightly too big. I think it's slightly too tall and slightly too, like the depth comes out. So I heard someone online before say you should actually get sellotape and you should outline so you can almost visualize it rather than sort of guessing with your hands. And I think it will be nice to be able to take your shoes off immediately and have almost like a key drop, and maybe also a mirror here. The one reason that doesn't put me off that it's a tall piece of furniture is, as you can see, our ceilings are tall. So if anything, bringing taller pieces of furniture will lift the eye, and also, as you can hear, there is an echo in here too, so I might do that now. So the particular shoe rack that I have in mind is that one that everyone buys from IKEA, the one that's like a unit shelf and the shoes are hidden away in like a folding drawer type of thing. Here's the markings. It's literally the perfect width. In terms of depth, I initially thought, oh, I would have liked it a bit slimmer, but then I realized that for the last year we've been using this, which it's just pushed a little bit forward against the radiator, but up against the wall it was the exact same size, and it hasn't really bothered us because we've had this space anyway. So in terms of depth coming out from the wall, it should be no different. The only thing is that will it look quite big, because that's how high it is. However, Cody's tall, he's 6 foot, so I don't think this would seem that tall to him. But also equally bearing in mind we still have the whole rest of this wall and ceiling, so maybe in comparison to that, maybe you should get a taller piece of furniture, and then this would serve as the key drop zone, a place where we'll take shoes off fairly immediately. So just from this angle, so the door would perfectly open and the shoe cabinet would fit in there. Obviously that old cabinet shoe rack wouldn't be there. Then you'd put your keys here. Then you'd have the whole rest of the corridor. So yeah, that's what we've got for today. So I better clear this hallway back up and get ready for their arrival tomorrow. So I think we can all agree that this is much nicer than the exposed floor we've been living with for the past year. Really happy with it. It just looks so clean, and I love that we've been able to restore that unique feature of this home. But it really draws attention to the amount of work that needs doing on the walls, which we really need to get on with next. So just to give you a bit of an update, the door needs to go back on. And some of you might be thinking, why didn't you put the tiles all the way to the door? And honestly, I think we just couldn't be bothered. We didn't mind these tiles and we thought they're gonna get wrecked anyway. So we may as well wreck the old tiles with people's dirty shoes rather than the new ones. Now remember, the door opens here, so we want to have a shoe rack here immediately, maybe a mat as well, just to encourage people to take off their shoes immediately on entering, so we don't want them to ruin our good work. I mentioned earlier in this video that I would really like to do something with those beams just because they're there anyway, and I think it would be a nice feature and an excuse to draw the eye up if it was a nice stained wood colour. I do still need to find a shoe rack of my choice. We think it would be really nice to put a radiator cover on the radiator, and I think it would be nice to have that shelf on top for reed diffusers, candles, and just start getting those nice homely scents in this corridor. So originally, I don't know if you can see my drawings on either side of the wall, I really wanted to panel this hallway, but unfortunately the wall's actually not straight, so we just thought it would be too difficult. So we're going to find a nice thick wallpaper that goes with the floor nicely, that doesn't make it look too dark. As you can see, one major thing that we need doing is the pipes, so we're planning on getting someone to come in to box them in and just make it a bit more aesthetic. And then this is the view from the kitchen, just to give you a bit of a different angle. So if you can think of anything nice that might make this room corridor look better aesthetically, maybe photo ideas, or just general interior design ideas, comment down below. And we're very much looking forward to having a really nice hallway corridor, so you have that nice welcome, nice smell, aesthetically pleasing room as soon as you enter this house. And just to give you a close-up, there's just such a nice pattern to it. It just looks so clean, it's not too dazzling, and it really highlights how long this hallway corridor is. And so we're coming to the end of the video now, so I hope you like our floor transformation. If you like what we've done, please do give it a big thumbs up. The next house renovation video will be our 1-year renovation transformation / 1-year house tour. So if you want to see that video, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And of course, if you want to follow along our renovation journey, as you can see, we've got lots left to do. Plus, this channel covers all things health, wealth and happiness. So if that's the kind of content you enjoy watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!